Many users report encountering entities during their DMT trips. Descriptions of these entities vary widely, but common themes include encounters with beings that are often described as otherworldly, alien, or spiritual in nature. Here are 10 types of entities that have been reported by DMT users. Strawmen. Rather than being perceived as independent beings, these entities are conceptualized as symbolic puppets, each embodying a consistent theme. They are not autonomous, but serve as tools to convey lessons during DMT trips. The strawmen are characterized as figures lacking individuality, existing more as representations with a specific purpose. Their role is to serve as cautionary examples by appearing as complete fools, deliberately designed to emphasize behaviors that the experiencer should avoid. These encounters often take place in allegorical classroom scenarios, creating a structured environment that implicitly demands trust and respect from the individual undergoing the psychedelic experience. In these scenarios, the strawmen play a distinctive role compared to other entities that may be encountered. While other entities may serve as positive influences or peers to emulate, the strawmen act as counterpoints, embodying negative traits or behaviors. The lessons derived from interactions with the strawmen often revolve around the consequences of displeasing or disregarding the wisdom they represent. One DMT user who witnessed a strawman report, "I saw a strange humanoid-looking character running in the distance, but with an extremely long neck and no face or expression either. I followed him, and we came to a round table at which several of these beings were seated. I understood then that they were only puppets, kinds of straw men, virtual characters commanded by another intelligence, created for the sole purpose of teaching me a lesson. I will not give the details of the lesson because they are too personal, but it was limpid and clear, and of the type. Beware, if you do that, this is what will happen to you." The Faceless Goons, a collective entity encountered within the realms of DMT experiences, materialize in groups ranging from 5 to 20, characterized by their indistinct facial features and a surrounding shadowy aura. While their appearance initially suggests a hostile force, the confrontations with these entities lack an overwhelming sense of fear, as they seem to possess a strength commensurate with that of the observer. Their purpose appears multifaceted, serving as both guides and potential orchestrators, perhaps directing the observer in a specific manner akin to the role played by the tormentor. A DMT user's report mentioned they initially had no obvious association with the other benevolent entities, but after my confrontation with them, I realized they were one and the same, and pretty much all of the human spirits began to appear and behave in this manner, constantly attacking me at every opportunity. A couple times, I really caught them by surprise with a sudden and inexplicable burst of energy radiating from my solar plexus, I think, and I caught a satisfying glimpse of something in their eyes along the lines of shock and panic, which I'm fairly sure was genuine. Encounters with the praying mantis entity in DMT experiences are often described as unique and surreal. This entity takes on the form of a humanoid figure, with characteristics reminiscent of a praying mantis. It typically stands upright and exhibits an elongated, slender body with jointed limbs, resembling the distinctive posture of a praying mantis. The praying mantis are often considered as aliens. They are described as benevolent entities and often perform some medical surgery, most of the time brain surgery, on the tripper. The praying mantis entity is often reported to possess an otherworldly aura, radiating a sense of intelligence and awareness. Some experiencers report communication or telepathic exchanges with the praying mantis, describing it as a wise and guiding force during the psychedelic journey. A user reported it was fairly large, 8 to 9 feet, green, and only the front half of the body was visible. The body was fairly smooth, without much detail, almost robotic. Right away, I realized this was a praying mantis, even though it didn't look like a bug specifically in terms of all the intricate details, but it was very real and separate from me. It was floating and just moving its arms above me as it was doing something to me. I was totally hypnotized without any emotion or intellectual processing, any thought or any sense of me or my body. I was just there observing that experience. The emotion was neutral. There was no emotion. The only reason I remembered this was when the day after a friend mentioned a praying mantis logo on a bottle, and I had a flashback of this moment, meaning that my brain was in a very deep hypnotic REM-like state. Anubis, the ancient Egyptian deity associated with mummification and the afterlife, is typically depicted with the head of a jackal or a dog. The presence of Anubis is often described as majestic and powerful, emanating a sense of ancient wisdom and divine authority. The entity may appear as a guardian or guide, leading individuals through symbolic or surreal landscapes reminiscent of the Egyptian underworld. The encounter with Anubis is frequently accompanied by a feeling of reverence and awe, as if being in the presence of a deity or spiritual guide. Communication during these encounters may occur through telepathic means or symbolic imagery, conveying messages related to the journey of the soul, death, rebirth, and the mysteries of existence. Anubis is often associated with themes of transformation, guiding individuals through a process of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. A DMT user's report described his encounter as, "I immediately found myself thrown into a crowd of mythological characters. I clearly distinguished some of them, and they all seemed to be part of the Egyptian pantheon. One of them looked just like Anubis, standing near a door on the wall. The door was open, but the other side was dark and I couldn't see through. I then noticed hundreds, if not thousands, of these glowing light creatures, made of many different colors, standing on the cube behind the Egyptian gods." Another DMT entity that is commonly reported are fairies. They resemble traditional fairies and often actually have wings. Flirty fairies can appear more nymphish as well. They are fluid and transforming, slowly pulsing with light at times, but generally hold the form of beautiful women who are overflowing with beauty and joy. So much so that they can barely stay within their skins. They squirm and pose, bat their eyelashes, wink and play in a nearly burlesque fashion, often stripping for you. An interesting note about them is that they even do this for heterosexual women. In fact, it doesn't seem to be sexually motivated, but rather an expression or flowering of their essential beautiful nature. One report said, "I found myself in the company of whimsical and playful entities that resembled little fairy folk. These enchanting beings were not only present, but actively engaged in a delightful and seemingly purposeful activity. In my mind, the fairy creatures were energetically wallpapering the inner recesses of my consciousness with an array of exquisitely beautiful images. The fairies, with their small and playful appearances, took on the role of artisans or decorators, transforming the landscape of my thoughts into a kaleidoscopic tapestry of vibrant colors and intricate patterns. Their actions were not random, but deliberate, as if each stroke of their fairy hands contributed to the creation of an ethereal masterpiece within the confines of my own mind. Encounters with octopus entities unfold as surreal and mystical phenomena. Described as having tentacle-like appendages with fluid and dynamic morphologies, these entities transcend the conventional form of marine octopuses, exhibiting vivid psychedelic bioluminescence that adds to their otherworldly appearance. Interactions with these beings often convey a profound sense of intelligence and awareness, establishing telepathic or empathic connections with the experiencer. In some accounts, the octopus entities serve as guardians or guides, ushering individuals through cosmic landscapes and existing in interdimensional realms. One DMT user reports, "I found myself in the presence of an extraordinary, octopus-like entity that bore an uncanny resemblance to Cthulhu. This entity, however, revealed a distinct feminine essence, captivating my senses as it expanded to envelop the entirety of my perceptual reality. The sheer scale of its presence was staggering, and its form was a mesmerizing display of complexity, featuring endless geometric tentacles that became the focal point of my immersive encounter. What ensued was a captivating dance of zooming in and out of these intricate tentacles, each movement revealing new layers of cosmic patterns and symmetries. As my consciousness navigated the geometric labyrinth created by the octopus entity, the visual tapestry expanded to incorporate additional surreal elements. Ribbons of eyeballs, pyramids, and hieroglyphics intertwined with the geometric tentacles, forming a cosmic collage that seemed to convey a language of profound symbolism. The ribbons of eyeballs suggested an omnipresent awareness. The pyramids hinted at ancient mysticism, and the hieroglyphics added an enigmatic layer of communication. Together, these symbolic elements contributed to a narrative within the psychedelic experience, inviting contemplation on the intersection of cosmic wisdom, ancient themes, and the intricate language of the mind. The Mother Goddess is a transcendent and luminous feminine presence, reminiscent of revered archetypal figures such as Ostara, Isis, or Mother Mary, while surpassing earthly identifications. This entity emanates a brilliant, intense light, radiating care and love that serves as a gentle and soothing balm, alleviating all pain and tears within the experiencer. The encounter is characterized by a colonkinesio optic experience, marked by explicit feminine qualities that encompass both maternal nurturing and a profound, loving sexuality. The entity's immense brightness and nurturing essence evoke a goddess-like aura, and its manifestations may go beyond traditional anthropomorphic forms. In some instances, it materializes as disjunct impressions and images of femininity, including lips, vulvas, and eyes, all imbued with a profound sense of love. This multifaceted representation underscores the entity's capacity to embody both maternal care and the transformative power of love in its various forms. The encounter transcends the earthly associations with specific goddess figures, offering a profound and transcendent experience of femininity that transcends human limitations. One report said, "I've been carried around in a basket as if I was a baby by a female mother goddess through a shopping mall of sorts, where other gods and goddesses were shopping for different components to build realities, and we were in a store for skies, and the entity that was carrying me brought me over to the others, and they were all marveling over me like I was a cute little baby." The Guardian is encountered as a watchful and benevolent presence, actively safeguarding and restricting access to certain realms within the psychedelic experience. Individuals who have encountered this entity often report a distinct sensation of being guided away from specific areas, with the prevailing sense that they might be in the wrong place. The Guardian manifests as a vigilant force, regulating the experiential landscape and shaping the trajectory of the journey. One account report, "I see him on the sidelines of rooms I enter, like the way a stagehand would be slightly off stage. He adjusts huge spotlights and controls the experience I'm having, kind of like a giant roadie doing light and sound checks during the show. It reminds me of a Wizard of Oz type deal, like he's the big man behind the screen, controlling it all. I feel like I wasn't supposed to see him. He didn't make eye contact with me or acknowledge me in any way." Encounters with Shiva, the Hindu deity associated with destruction and transformation, during DMT experiences are reported as profoundly mystical and awe-inspiring. Individuals describe a visual and spiritual encounter with Shiva that transcends traditional depictions and invites a deeply personal and transformative experience. In the presence of Shiva, experiencers often describe a vivid manifestation of the deity's cosmic dance, known as the Tandava. This dance, symbolizes the rhythmic cycles of creation, preservation, and destruction within the universe. The dance unfolds with mesmerizing and intricate movements, accompanied by a kaleidoscope of vibrant colors and cosmic energies, creating a visual spectacle that symbolizes the dynamic forces of existence. Beyond the visual spectacle, encounters with Shiva in the DMT realm are often accompanied by a profound sense of spiritual insight and understanding. The deity is perceived as a wise and benevolent force, guiding individuals through the mysteries of existence and the cyclical nature of life and death. Experiencers may feel a deep connection to the cosmic energy represented by Shiva, experiencing a sense of oneness with the universe and a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. A trip report said, "I found myself suspended in what seemed like the center of the cosmos. I quickly discovered that I wasn't alone. I was face to face with a blue-skinned dancing man with 4 arms, which were holding various objects. He was surrounded by a bright, glowing, and undulating blue-white light. About a month later, I randomly stumbled across an image of Shiva online. I can truthfully say that I had never seen an image of Shiva or knew anything about Shiva prior to finding this image. My jaw dropped when I saw the image of him, and I began to read more about him. The descriptions of his dance and the fact that he represented creation and destruction coincided eerily with my experience. Ganesha, the Hindu deity revered as the remover of obstacles and the patron of arts and sciences within the realms of DMT experiences, are often described as profoundly transformative and filled with symbolism. Individuals report encountering Ganesha in a visually rich and spiritually significant manner. In these encounters, Ganesha is often depicted with his distinctive elephant head, a symbol of wisdom, intelligence, and overcoming challenges. The deity may radiate a warm and benevolent energy, creating an atmosphere of comfort and reassurance. Experiencers frequently describe the encounter as a meeting with a wise and compassionate guide, embodying the essence of divine knowledge and the ability to navigate life's obstacles. A DMT user's report said this: "I saw Ganesha, who was at the time encircled by these beings which were just orbs of light. They parted and allowed me to walk to Ganesh, who told me everything was gonna be all right, and gave me a hug. The hug felt as if I was just bathed in all the love in the universe. It gave me the courage to quit a job I hated and go to university. I've just completed my master's. As an aside, I then learned at university that Ganesha is the god of overcoming obstacles. Had no idea of this before until I studied anthropology."
Like and subscribe.